is really good to get started on the first session. Let's have a little recap here. So I've got the swing from the start of the session here on the left hand side, which we're just having a look through. So a lot of the basics are really good, maybe some ever so slight tweaks to the posture, but in terms of grip and setup and stance and ball position, pretty impressed. So obviously bearing in mind what little exposure you have had, but the point I was really trying to make during the lesson is we've got to get this essentially the scapula on the left side to get certainly the rotator cuff on the left side to get rotating correctly, because you can see the elbow is being pulled out and away from the body, which essentially puts the elbow very much behind you, and as a result of that you can see the length of the swing is slightly compromised, so the swing will always be a little bit short because otherwise you'd essentially tear your deltoid, but also you can see it just sets the club in front of the plane line, so the club head itself, because of that shoulder position, isn't quite flat enough, and this of course causes steepness, which will lead you to leave the club face open when you're driving the golf ball, which isn't good in terms of long-term consistency. So let's just have a look at a swing from later on in the lesson, and actually you were beginning to get the club certainly more behind you. That wasn't in question at all, but as a result of that you're also getting a lot of lateral movement, so you could see getting almost too far behind the ball and then not quite recovering the position, so the sternum was then staying behind the ball through impact and you're finding it very difficult to get to the bottom of the golf ball. So we'd ideally need the chest to be in, still staying behind the ball. We'd almost need the spine to be in that position at impact, is what you tend to see with good players. Just see if I've got a clip of McIlroy for us here somewhere. Let's just have a look at McIlroy from down the line really quickly actually. Play through and just put the plane line in. So here we go. So obviously a pretty decent ball striker in his own right, but you can clearly see the forearm gets set into a different position. Club head is much more behind him, so he starts from underneath the line, and then of course you can turn the chest and get the body nice and open and forward through impact, because of course it's the positioning of the club that is encouraging the shallowness of the angle of attack as opposed to the angle of the club dictating it. So just keep working on that, as I said, that kind of opening of the left hand, the high five position. We may do some stretches. If you did want to go ahead with the lesson package, which I thoroughly recommend, then we can also do a screening, and we can look at some stretches to do as well, which would be great, obviously, as you're down at the gym anyway. So yeah, fantastic, really enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.